So we took a break from Disneyland Paris for a little bit, just because we're one metro stop away, which is really nice. And we're going back with one of our suitcases, which we're going to put in the storage unit over at the metro station by Disneyland Paris. So that way we don't have to lug both suitcases to London on the train, because it's very difficult working with two suitcases. They do mean well when they say like try to pack only one suitcase, or even just backpacks or something like that, because it's a challenge getting around with two suitcases. Even just one suitcase, honestly, it's kind of a challenge. And so it's good to be able to pack light when you're going on these Paris trips, just because otherwise it gets very complicated getting around other passengers and stuff. But yeah, at least we have the storage unit.
As for an update on my ankle at this point in the video, for those of you who watched the previous video, it was pretty much on fire. So what we did was I had packed a bunch of biofreeze, like patches and stuff like that, and I just wrapped it repeatedly, and that seemed to help a lot from here on out. And so from here on out, every single day, I'm wearing 2 patches of biofreeze on either side of my ankle, which definitely helped. I'm grateful that since that point happened, I actually got better shoes, and it's been a miracle worker ever since.
After some small issues with the bags, looks like we're heading into the park here.
The small complications that I didn't talk about included the fact that when we got to the places you can store your luggage, the place only took change and French coins. And so we didn't have French coins, we only had bills. And so we had to go through the whole process of getting cash from an ATM. And the only ATM that we could find in the nearby area, because Disney Springs, or what they call downtown Disney over there, was completely under renovation. So most of their ATMs were completely out. The only ATM we could find was, ironically, in Walt Disney Studios Park. So I actually went into the park before we were actually planning on going it for the first time, looked around for a little bit, got some cash from the ATM that's right next to the walled off area for the Studio One that you're about to see. And then I ran back to the train station, realized it was only in coins. So I went to the Starbucks and I got some coins for it. And then I went right back up to the station, and it took like 30 minutes. It was pretty crazy. But we were grateful it's all over. And so that was done.
On this side, I just can't get enough of that Eiffel Tower. It just looks so cool. So once you enter the park though, normally you would go through Walt Disney Studios Studio number 1 here, but that is now being closed, and they're completely starting to do their entire enhancement, making this thing Disney Adventure World. This is kind of like being in a theme park that's about to be completely overhauled, or at least like the front of it. Of the theme park. Yeah. So it's kind of fascinating being in the motion of a theme park. What's really funny is this, I'm getting a lot of Universal vibes here, because it's meant to be like that studio thing, but it's just kind of funny. For a long time, this was touted as the worst Disney park, so I'm interested to see what it has right now. As you're walking down this street, you're starting to see some of the backlot buildings, or some of the buildings that you might see on Hollywood Boulevard. Right behind it is, of course, the Tower of Terror. They have one similar to the one here in Orlando, but it has the same look as the one in California did. So it's kind of funny looking at it. But this is cool. Boy, if Epcot was the walled off park, now this park is definitely becoming it. But it's kind of cool. They have a building dedicated to the animation offices here, which is very similar to how they look over in Burbank. So one of the places I worked in Adventureland was Magic Carpets of Aladdin, and they have one over here, or maybe I should say they had one over here. It looks like it's completely leveled. Like the turret's gone, the lamp's gone. I'm seeing some of the tops of it's gone. Like all the level of theming is missing from it. But that's where it was, which makes me think that it might be gone. I'm not sure. They haven't announced any permanent closures, but it's definitely under renovation for something. I'm interested to see if they'll bring it back or not. I came over here mostly just to see another look of Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It looks like they are definitely like taking it apart. But also over here is Crush's Coaster. And And this looks like a lot of fun. What's kind of fun in this area is it's kind of like a Mod Podge of other lands. Like over there you have Radiator Springs, and they have kind of like a little spinner right over there. And then we're entering Toy Story Land. But from what I'm understanding, it's kind of like a mini version over here, except they also have this little Toy Story parachute drop, which looks kind of cute. That's very cute. Also, in this version of Toy Story Land, they still have the feet on the ground. We got Slinky Dog Dash. Look at it go. It's called, sorry, Slinky Dog Zigzag Spin.
Reminds me of Marlin's Challenge.
Yeah, from Legoland. And over here's the RC car. That's cute. Entering through this giant barrel of mucky portal. We're actually gonna be over in, looks like another little taste of France, because over here's the Ratatouille area. This is really cute. We're gonna be eating here later this next week. But we're almost always, it's like a 80-minute wait at Epcot. Here it's like a 10-minute wait, so let's just go do it. One thing that's different about this version though is when you get off the ride, you could exit right into Chez Remy, the bistro, for it. And that's where we'll be eating on my birthday. That's gonna be very fun. It's just so fascinating seeing this park, because like you have a good chunk of the, you know, the hits from a lot of different areas, and then you just have like wall after wall after a wall after a wall. And like there's certain areas where you just can't see if, you know, things are going on. You see like some of the resemblance though, and like some of the other things, like that's clearly one of the animation buildings and stuff like that. But it's just kind of funny to look at. But over here we have Avengers Campus. Their version of Avengers Campus is actually finished though, because they actually have multiple rides in this area that are really cool. I've heard there's a lot of really good things to see over here. So let's go check it out. The unique ride over here is Avengers Assemble Flight Force. It's an Iron Man roller coaster. I think that this used to be the Armageddon roller coaster, or basically like the Rock and Roller Coaster equivalent. So I'll be doing this one. We'll see how it is. Looks like that's the ride building through the trees. I like Rock and Roller Coaster a lot. But it's pretty cool that they actually made it a little more themed. So that launch is insane. It's been a while since I've done Rock and Roller Coaster, because I don't really like launch coasters all that much, but if I'm here, I gotta go ride them, right? And so that was really fun. It's kind of like Guardians. The only thing was, you know, it's the exact same thing as Rock and Roller Coaster. The thing is, it's just a lot more darker, and you're in space, and you're helping Iron Man and Captain Marvel fight bad guys, and it's kind of confusing, but it's fun. I liked it a lot. It was really good. Apparently the Disneyland Paris hotel has a fountain show, and this looks gorgeous. With the sun going down, you can actually really start seeing some of the pretty lights, like these that are on here for from the 30th, looks like celebration, but they're kind of just going to be sticking around for a little bit longer, which is nice just to be able to see. Very pretty. Lights are starting to come on Main Street. This is so pretty though.
So we didn't know it, but there actually was a show that runs on Main Street featuring Tinkerbell, and I am very horrible with Pixie Hollow characters, but it's some French fairy who's like part of the snow, and so that's why the gazebo in the front of the park is kind of like covered in snow and everything like that, and then Tinkerbell has kind of like this wintry spring looking place. I didn't quite understand it, but you know what, it's a cool show, and so this is kind of what we saw.
cute. Tinkerbell's jumping in and out of these. That's cute.
Hello? Who's there? My name is Tinkerbell. C'est toi? Wait, I think I know that voice. I can't see you.
N'aie pas peur, voyons. C'est moi, ta sœur jumelle, Cristal.
Periwinkle? But wait, where are you?
Où veux-tu que je sois? Chez moi, dans la forêt de l'hiver.
Very funny. Of course I know my twin sister lives in the winter woods.
Tu es chez toi, dans la vallée des fées? Tu ne voudrais pas qu'on se retrouve quelque part à mi-chemin?
Great idea. Let's meet at the border between the winter woods and Pixie Hollow.
We've hopped over to the other side at Disneyland Park, where we're now going to be finally trying Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This is the one we've been really looking forward to doing the entire trip. And so we'll be excited to see how it turns out. That is easily the best Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in the world. Hands down. That is literally the perfected version. We're over here at the treehouse, and I just gotta say, my favorite things about this whole thing is that they actually have a working water wheel, which Disney World has not had for months. Oh, so pretty.
I think the reason why I zoomed in on this second part is when I originally noticed this shot of the water wheel, you might notice the wheel spinning, but the buckets are not going up, which is basically the pure functionality of the wheel. So it's half working.
So, in the search for food, we decided to come into the Hyperion area over at Discoveryland, and they actually have a full-on stage. Oh, you know what? I bet this is some kind of like Playhouse Disney thing. Because they have like little cartoons of Playhouse Disney that are going through here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something over there on that stage. Super cool though. But at least there's a food place that's open. So that's where we're heading.
I later actually realized, so the Videopolis place that you were seeing was actually the stage, and it was actually kind of funny because it took a lot of inspirations from the Videopolis back in the 90s at Disneyland. I think even earlier than that, when they would have large dance shows and all these different things like that. And so Paris, when they built Paris, they built a Videopolis place too as well, almost like a tribute, I think, to that. So it was kind of a fun little coincidence that that's what that was.
Last little bit of food updates. Here I got a chicken burger, but it's mostly like a chicken sandwich. I got the fish burger, but it's also just a fish sandwich with some fries and our favorite drinks that we found here in France. This here is munching away, so let's get going. Kind of a funny moment we're realizing, but this is our first time eating French fries in France.
Incidentally, the French fries and the fish burger, I remember, was not very good, at least for me. I just realized that we were really hungry and they kept closing places, and we didn't realize that they closed Fantasyland like really early compared to the rest of the park, because that's where they set up for their drone shows and for the fireworks and everything like that. So they closed it much earlier than the rest of the park. So that kind of completely threw us off. So all the food places that we had tried to go to on the west side of the park were pretty much closed. So the only place was Discoveryland.
We got our spot for the nighttime spectaculars, and we're excited to see them. We caught a little bit of the glimpse of the Nat Geo one that'll be finishing up at the end of this week. Wasn't able to get anything on that camera. But it was a nice projection show with some water effects. It was really cool. But yeah, it's not super busy here in this little area yet as compared to Happily Ever After, but it's still pretty crowded. Not too bad though. There's not as many cast members that are helping out in the front area, but they did have to close down the entire back half of Fantasyland, which is where we were at, which made it very confusing to find any food back there. But we got some good food. Now it's time to watch the shows, and then we got to get to bed really quickly because we got an early morning tomorrow.
So I just want to preface this, and this will probably be my last time cutting in for this episode, but what you're about to see is just clips of what became my all-time favorite nighttime spectacular I've ever seen. This show is amazing. I think it will be retired at the end of the year and replaced maybe with a different show, but if you have a chance to see it from now to the end of the year, or at least take a look at the YouTube clip that I just put up here, please do, because it is just next level. The drone shows that we've seen here at Disney World in Orlando are nothing compared to this show. And it just does not look as good on camera as it did in real life. And when you feel the music pumping and you see the lights, it's just enjoy.
En 1992, une parade magique célébrant l'héritage de Walt Disney prenait vie en apportant de la joie et de l'imagination pour illuminer nos cœurs. In 1992, a magical parade celebrating the legacy of Walt Disney sparkled to life, bringing joy and imagination to shine into our hearts. Aujourd'hui, la parade revient. Today, the parade returns.
Got chills. Oh my gosh.
Like when I say these drones are the size of the castle, that's not an understatement. It might look kind of weird from where I'm standing, but I'm not even joking. These things are massive in their arrangement. I have never seen anything this massive on any scale.
Wow! Oh my god! Oh my word! Oh my word! I have seen many nighttime spectaculars.
That's the best one.
That is easily the best one, and it's not even close. There were so many moments during the entire show I was just like, I don't see how it could get better, and it topped itself. Like, I've never seen a show better than that before. That was genuinely incredible. Well done.
And the craziest thing is it's not even done. That's only the second show out of 3 tonight that we're seeing as a nighttime spectacular at this thing.
sweet as Mickey's out there waving goodbye to everybody. Bye, Mickey. We'll see you next week.
What really meant the most to me about this whole Nighttime Spectacular series here, even these 1-2 punch with the Main Street Electrical Parade in the sky was just being just next level. It helped me feel for the first time in a long time, I feel like real Disney magic as a guest. Because I've seen all this stuff here at Disney World. I've done all this stuff at Disneyland. But like seeing something truly extraordinary, something that blew my mind, it's been a long time since I felt that. And I just really enjoyed that moment with a Nighttime Spectacular, which hasn't happened to me personally in a long time. And so I just really, I was really grateful for that moment. But finally, it was time for us to end our Disneyland Paris stay on our first day. And it was time to prep for what was going to be my favorite location of our entire trip. It was going to be our journey to London.